Welcome to USA Global TV and Radio, where our mission is to provide education, entertainment, hope, and inspiration. USA Global TV and Radio connects you with experts and audiences all around the world every single day to help you succeed in business and to live a richer life. Visit us at usaglobaltv.com to learn about career and life-changing training and mentoring programs like the Listening Mentor. Subscribe to our newsletter to stay informed about our special programs and offers. Discover how you can become a guest on one of our shows or a host or producer of a USA Global TV and Radio show of your very own. That's USA Global TV and Radio, where the doctor is always in.
Hello and welcome to USA Global TV and Radio, where we provide world-class education, entertainment, hope, and inspiration. I'm Dr. Jacqueline Kerbeck, and it's an absolute privilege and pleasure to be here today to welcome the actual star and host of this show, Dementia Home Care, Tracy Cram Perkins. She's the author of this book, Dementia Home Care, How to Prepare Before, During, and After. And if you missed it, we did a fabulous episode yesterday on the journey of an author. We heard all about her backstory. So I encourage you to go to our YouTube channel, USA Global TV and Radio. Tracy is a 4-time caregiving survivor. That is a mouthful. Now imagine taking care of 4 people whom you love and all have dementia. It's a huge undertaking. And from that, she has written this book, again, Dementia Home Care, How to Prepare Before, During, and After. And she sold over 14,000 copies of this book. Let's welcome her to the show and find out what she's been up to. Welcome to your own show.
Well, thank you, Dr. Jacqueline. I am thrilled to be here.
I am thrilled to have you here. And for people who don't know, Tracy and I used to do the show together. And she progressed so quickly as a global broadcaster that she now does the show by herself. But Tracy, thanks for having me here today. I'm really excited to be here with you.
Oh, I'm excited that you're here with me too, because we don't get to chat anymore.
We're always working. It's crazy. So one thing I'd love to just have you just share, we have a guest who's not here yet. We don't know if he's coming, but he's actually a new team member, Dr. Felix Kravets. So he'll be with us, hopefully. But I'd love to just talk a little bit as we go on this journey. What has it been like for you to be a global broadcaster? Is it something you always wanted to do, or it came out of the air and you're happy you're doing it, or you hate it? How do you feel?
Oh my gosh. Well, okay, it's nothing I ever expected to do. And as you know, but the audience doesn't, I was invited to come on and talk on aging gracefully with humor, which is one of the wonderful shows here on USA Global TV. And Dr. Jacqueline was one of the co-hosts, and we got to talking. And then I found out after being invited back a couple more times that she had a family member with dementia, and then it just kind of segued naturally that we just started connecting more and more. And I was on more of the shows here that I was invited to join, and I was so thrilled because it had never crossed my mind that I would do something like this, and it's been fun. I've met so many wonderful people. I have learned a lot of different stories and things that I'd never heard of before. So it's unexpected. It's been really rewarding, sometimes surprising, and then we're learning to ad lib too, so which is a really cool skill.
Absolutely. And I know for myself, now that I've done over 5,000 shows, I don't even know what the number is, but it gives me a new sense of confidence that I didn't have before. I had a career in sales, and it was a long career, and I don't know that I ever felt as comfortable in my own skin as I do now. And I'm really grateful for that. Do you feel the same?
Yes, I I was not, uh, I was not comfortable on camera, and so but after it's okay, I'm gonna promote for just a second. After taking your course and learning what to do and not to do on camera, that was very, very helpful because I had no clue. I was not camera trained or camera ready. Uh, Admittedly, I was an intern at a television station back in the '80s in my local area, but I wasn't on camera. I was behind the scenes promoting things and doing, all the odd jobs you do. And I always admired the people that were able to have the courage to stand up and look the camera lens in the eye and not just melt in front of the camera. So it's been a really confidence building, and it's just been a wonderful experience. So that's my story.
I'm glad to hear that. Thank you, thank you, thank you. So this is Dementia Home Care Show, and today's guest is an expert in cybersecurity. And I think it's super important because if you think about it, just today I was reading, I think it's Scarlett Johansson was talking about how artificial intelligence used her voice for something. On open chat, I guess. And by the way, the good doctor is with us. I'm super excited. Let's
Yay!
welcome him to the show. Dr. Felix Kravets, welcome.
Good afternoon, good morning, everyone. Welcome. Great to see everyone.
It's great to see you as well. Tracy, I shared with you and shared with the audience that Dr. Felix has joined our team. Welcome. We're super happy to have you here with USA Global TV and Radio. And I know, Tracy, you have questions that you want to ask Dr. Felix, so I'm going to turn it over to you, my friend.
Oh, fantastic. Well,
Thank
welcome.
you.
Now, do you want to be called Felix or Dr. Kravets?
Felix is perfectly fine. Thank you.
Okay. All right. So, first of all, congratulations on getting your new show. Do you want to tell us what your new show's about?
Yes, thank you. So my background is social engineering. Um, it's a huge field, and I truly believe it's very important for every one of us, starting from children who start using technology from 3 and 4 years of age to seniors who continue utilizing technology. So social engineering itself is a one portion of the cybersecurity, which is, from my belief, is highly important. That is a human factor of the entire safety, and even if people might not necessarily use computers or use internet for on a daily basis, everyone still, especially looking about seniors, everyone using cell phone nowadays, and it's still technology. So I'm thinking about giving people more details on how to stay safe on a technology side, and how to be aware, and how to think about being updated on a daily basis about different tricks the hackers are using to attack us. And that is social engineering. Thank you.
So, so how did you end up coming into this? I mean, what was your impetus? Since if the audience doesn't know you yet, how did you start your cybersecurity journey?
Thank you. Very good question. So my background is um, education. I was kind of in the middle between education and technology for over 25 years. I was teaching at various universities and colleges in the United States as adjunct faculty and a full-time professor. Technology was and business was kind of two sides of my educational work and my work in general. So I noticed that cybersecurity is a big problem for both sides. It's visible from both angles, from business side and from technological side. It's a problem, and I truly believe that this is a big problem, and it's a huge work that everyone should consider at least partially looking at. Doesn't matter if it's for personal using technology, for personal use, or for business use. Inside of this big cybersecurity industry, there is a small component called social engineering, which is responsible for, depends on a statistical source, between 95 to 100% of all cyber attacks. That is a human factor. That is you and me, nice people who might bring the flash drive to work and plug it in to show a photo picture from a wedding to a coworker, and maybe plugged in this web flash drive somewhere else a few days ago on unknown computer in a friend's house. So that might cause huge amount of problems on the company side. If you think about seniors, simple phone call that pretend to be from tax agency or from law enforcement, might be the lead to collect a lot of information, personal information about the person, and damage financially, damage legally, any one of us. So talk about kids, we talk about what they call sextortion, from word extortion. It's basically every age, from smallest age-wise computer users to seniors. I believe we're all vulnerable in terms of cyber safety, and I see that opportunity to help people to be more educated as much as possible. And I believe education itself is a big deal, but just to paying attention to this, just to watch for some updates on social engineering while you're browsing internet, that is an objective of cybersecurity is easy. Cybersecurity is not easy, but we're here to make people pay attention to this a little component so they can be aware of it. Thank you.
I love that. So you talked about your senior program. Can you give us a little more information about what you teach in the senior program?
Sure. Thank you. It's a great question. So I'm going to senior facilities, and we normally meet about an hour sessions, and then we have Q&As, and we talk about one specific subject. For example, phone call phishing. So we talk about show examples to seniors on receiving phone calls and different tricks that attackers can utilize to make seniors answer questions to pretend to be from the bank or from legitimate institution, from social security office, from local pharmacy, from the company that can offer rebate or refund, or from the agency where somebody won the lottery or won vacation for two in Florida. So there's multiple ways to try to approach any one of us, including seniors, over the phone, just pretending to be someone else, and try to collect information. In today's world, people not just calling. In some cases, you just receive a phone call. And even if you pick up the phone and you say nothing and you just say hello and there's no one there, system automatically put you on on active list of the phone, on active list of people who will pick up the phone next time when they will call. There is multiple AI generated technology, including voice cloning, where answering a few questions or saying a few words, opening the huge can of worms in providing this caller with opportunity to utilize now your voice to make other phone calls to your family members and to other parties pretend to be you with your voice. So we talk about how to be safe. We recommend not to, for example, in this specific session, not to pick up the phone calls from unknown callers. So we provide basically safety tips on different subjects, and we provide examples of what attackers can do over the phone in that specific session. There is 7 sessions total, and other sessions covering emails. They're covering voice cloning, password protection, link phishing, fake websites. So every one of those 7 weekly sessions has different topic. And then we start again in case if the agency is interested to continue. It's a huge amount of information, and in most of the cases, after session 7, we'll start again from session 1 and we'll continue this.
Oh, that's fantastic. So you also mentioned you do it for children. What does it look like for the children's program?
Thank you. Very good question. For children, we haven't set up the program yet. So this time I'm publishing a few books. I have a few books on Amazon on how to create a password for children and how not to respond to requests to connect through social, through games, and through how not to activate the video camera and microphone when children are using video games and other technology and when they're online. For children, in the same way that we do for seniors, an idea is to offer after-school program with type of classes for local school districts in order to come and to talk to kids about similar scenarios, how they can be targeted by unknown computer users who pretend to be children too, and what are those objectives of those people, and how to see those red flags and how to defend themselves, not crossing this line.
Oh, that's fantastic. So let's go back to social media then. Now, this can confuse both seniors, kids, average adults. How do you protect yourself from cyber attacks there? I know that they have a lot of people impersonating themselves as, let's say, use Facebook, for example, as being Meta, and that they're trying to take over somebody's account or something like that. How do you protect people from that or teach them how to do that?
Social media, thank you. Very good question. Social media is huge, and it's a huge area. And it's an area where we have to be very careful. There is a few different ways attackers can, there's many ways attackers can attack us through social media. And the probably most common one is using somebody else's account. So if you have a Facebook or any other social media accounts, the message sent from somebody else's account is not necessarily generated by this person. So hacking, if my account on Facebook being hacked, and we're gonna check in a few moments how it can be hacked. But if it was hacked, the attackers cannot really make money, by knowing my login credentials into Facebook. If you know my email address and my password in the Facebook, for Facebook, for example, you can log in as me and you can basically see my friends and you can see my posts. How can they benefit from, from being able to play somebody else's role? So attackers, there's multiple ways of doing this. The most popular way, attackers will communicate to to people who are connected to you in social media, pretending to be you. They might provide them with a link from your, that sent, from your account, and everybody will think it is you. This link might lead users to malicious website, which might install, malware on the computer, provide hackers with access to their computer. So that is the technical side of it. Non-technical side, they can pretend to be you, and they can ask for money trying to explain the situation about possibly, losing wallet, or possibly being on vacation in a different country, and having no access to U.S. embassy, for example, and having wallet stolen, and asking for money to come back to the United States, saying, "I promise I will get back to you. I just don't have anybody to ask for money." So that is just a few ways. There is a dating stories. There is multiple other ways, asking for assistance from friends, connecting, making fake accounts with your name and your photo picture. So so social media is the way, not only instead of attacking you specifically and trying to make you take certain steps through your name, trying to attack, your community or group of people who are connected with you. So I just want to say very shortly, I would recommend not to have the same email address for social media and for emails and for banking, and to have different passwords. So social media, I recommend to all my students to have at least 2 different email addresses. One for official email addresses for financial and for banking, for important accounts. And the second one is also for important accounts, but for social media and for other non-banking and not official use. So this way, if your social media account is hacked, at least what hackers will do, if I know your email and one of your Facebook password, those people will go to Chase.com, they will go to WesternUnion.com, they will go to dozens of other financial institutions, try to plug in the same combination. And if you just use one key to open all the doors will be open. So there's multiple things can be done, unfortunately. And the main thing, if somebody sent you link and it look like a Facebook or Twitter or any other social media, very careful look at the URL when you open the page, because if it's fake page and you plug in your username and password once, from this point of time, people have access to your accounts.
Oh, that's just frightening. That is just frightening. So going back to, you were talking about the seniors program. What is some of the favorite feedback you've gotten from people who've taken the course from you?
Yes. Many people saying, "Oh my God." Okay. So they, in many cases, when I show examples and when I describe what happening in that specific situation to people who have spoken to, let's say, caller pretending to be from technical support of largest corporations, Google, Microsoft, whatever those hackers label themselves by calling people. When we go over those cases, many seniors saying, "Oh my God, I actually done it." And I just had a case where a senior was saying, "I just done it today, this morning. Somebody called and I gave them a credit card number." So, or I gave them my social security number or date of birth and social security number and my password. So we try to prevent this from happening. And, every time it's happening, I think, "Oh my God, I hope I would be here yesterday to prevent this." But, daily seniors need it. And not only seniors, every one of us needs to not necessarily, listen to me specifically, but listen to experts in general from social engineering to improve their social engineering awareness. That believe the main mission of this company and my personal mission is to make it easier for people to understand and to help those vulnerable groups, specifically seniors, children, and business owners. They're also very vulnerable. The fact that you know a lot about trucking industry, you have 20 trucks and you have 20 great drivers and you have dispatcher and you have options to make a lot of money. If you don't have time to think about cyber safety, the entire business, might be very vulnerable. And in many cases, people think, oh, we'll just install antivirus, and that will make it. As I mentioned, the human factor is the biggest. If you Google the human factor in a cybersecurity, what percent of cyber attacks include human factor? Multiple sources will give you answers, and those answers between 95 to 100%. So that is a reason why I truly believe educational system in the United States must be revised to, in general, but in this specific case, to make it more connected to reality with the skills that we need from age of 3.5. My youngest child was 3.5 years old when he got the laptop from school, and he was still not potty trained. So, but he had a laptop. So the kids start using this from very small age. In many cases, the educational system is behind, and we need to help, not necessarily provide a degree in cybersecurity, which is also a greatest idea to go that route, but to have a general understanding of how it works so people can pay attention very carefully. And I love this word, zero trust approach. You have to have a zero trust approach in your mind to be safe. So whatever people tell you, you have to always doubt it through technology. Even if the voice is matching, even with AI, even if video is matching, with AI it will generate somebody's video, and you will not be able to see the difference. It will be you dancing, it will be you singing, it will be you speaking, and the voice will be yours. And it will take 10 minutes to do it. So you have to always double check, verify before you trust, especially if we're talking about technology. And children and seniors, I believe both groups have this trust level which is much higher than it's supposed to be if you're not aware of all those details. So I believe the cybersecurity.easy.com LLC's mission, my mission, is to make people aware, to push down the level of trust, specifically in those groups that I mentioned, to stay in the safe zone. Thank you.
Oh, that's fantastic. So you made me think of two other things. Let's go the one that's near and dear to my heart first. You were talking about seniors. Obviously, you're on the Dementia Home Care Show. How do we protect our family members that have dementia? Is there something that you recommend that we can do to help them stay safe on
Thank you.
cybersecurity? Yeah.
Sure. Thank you. Very good question. So I believe that we have to make sure that there is a safety line for people not to, I don't want to say not to make decision, but to use what I call two-factor authentication. But in this specific case, to have the second layer of protection. For example, if you have an account, like I know many people who are married have the same account in the same bank and the common account, and in order to complete the transaction, the message goes to both account members. So in terms of financial security, I would recommend to add the Chase Bank and many other banks have the way to have alarm on the accounts, and any transactions, if you're talking about specifically money, any transactions will be automatically be reported, and you will receive the text message on any transaction from the credit card or any transaction from checking account. I would recommend family members to sign up to be the second second account holder or co-owner of the same account and the same credit card to receive transaction alarms if that is applicable and if everyone agree. In terms of cyber safety and computer use, simple antivirus and malware bites or anti-malware software can be downloaded from website from multiple sources. But if you just Google download.com and pull a free account for antivirus and malware bytes or anti-malware and install on the machine to make sure that that there is at least some level of protection on downloading. I would recommend to have financial transactions being done, if possible, from different computer device. So if your loved ones are staying on the computer utilizing technology, provide one cheap laptop. It costs $150 nowadays. Just simple laptop for internet use, which would be different from another laptop, which would be, or a computer which would be used only for banking. Not to mix those two, because there is no way to be to be safe in terms of following all those rules, which probably might be complicated at certain level, to have separately a second device for technology use, and possibly participate with a payment member when this device is used to make transactions. In the senior facilities, I know some seniors have logging in and using one device, and then they bring second the laptop for class, which is used for social media and for fun. So it would be great to separate those. Again, publishing, there's multiple books and there's multiple training vendors, myself and many other companies providing this training to continue making people aware of all those risks and to continue talking to seniors about safety as well.
Okay, so the second question I had was, earlier you had talked about you were doing in-person senior training I'm assuming, or is this online, or are you doing both? I was a little confused.
Thank you. Very good question. So I'm in the Chicago area, in the greater Chicago area and suburban areas of Chicago. We're doing this in person, and I have someone else who is also helping. Otherwise, it's a remote, and we're also working on setting up the video clips, the library of video clips. We're piloting 20 video clips, which we can list to senior facility for being played on the TV, on a local cable TV or on a local TV network inside of the facility. Those are very short video clips, just 30 seconds, 45 seconds, to remind people, because myself and students and college students, it's very difficult to retain information, and for seniors, it's a problem as well. So when I see seniors week from my class and we're discussing things, a lot of information is lost. So I believe the reminders as a short video clips on a TV channel would be very helpful. So the senior facilities interested to get more details can contact me at info@cybersecurityeasy.com. But I believe that reminding seniors daily and plugging in those little 30 seconds, 45 seconds, 1 minute video clips in between other announcements on a TV channels for the facility or for network of facilities would be highly recommended. Each video clip specifically talks about unique situation, such as you receive a phone call from IRS. You was told you will be arrested tomorrow, or you have to pay $2,000, or you receive a voicemail from your grandchild. So it basically goes through situations that most common use situations that hackers are utilizing. Again, we're always behind hackers as an industry because they're coming up with new stuff all the time. But at least to know what they're capable of doing would be very helpful. Books is another. If the family members are reading books, one of my books is 15 minutes, cybersecurity in 15 minutes for seniors, is on ADX and audio company of Amazon. So we're trying to see if seniors like, printed book versus to audio books. But we'll be happy to communicate to everyone who is interested to work to deliver the service to your senior facility and to your residents and to your family members. We're doing one-on-one classes as well. Thank you.
So tell us a little bit about your show that's starting. I believe it's tomorrow. Is that correct? It's debuting tomorrow?
Yes. Thank you. Yes, very good question. Appreciate it. So again, we're talking about cyber safety. We're talking about cyber safety, and we're talking about cyber safety in general terms for everyone. For, as I mentioned, children, people who use technology on a daily basis. If you think about insurance companies that sell cyber insurance, I can be the best business person, the best dispatcher for trucking industry, or the best daycare manager, but businesses are vulnerable, and they also have a lot of money, and they also target for hackers. Basically, every part of our society, one way or another, is vulnerable, and this show is about cyber safety, about social engineering. Like I said, we are not computer programmers, and I'm not, taking, 100% of responsibilities and work for this huge industry, which includes, billion-dollar corporations and government agency, and this is really, really huge. I'm talking about just a human component, just a human factor, which I believe that is the main or the heart of all of this. Because if people will click or take one wrong step, this huge billion-dollar building might collapse. And we're talking about, if you look at the biggest companies where data is stolen and millions of records stolen, if you look at what kind of reports they're publishing at the end of investigation of, in reality, what really happened and why, in majority of those cases, it was somebody's simple mistake, somebody's click, or somebody's email open, or somebody's web page, entered the web address, entered, and the whole company, the whole agencies, that might cost millions and billions of dollars, might be at the danger. So my goal is to make people aware, and I don't know a lot about technology, and I truly believe we have the best technology in the world to protect against hackers. But I also know that hackers continue working as we speak, and the best technologies that we can build up based on what we know might not necessarily cover 100%. And in today's world, no matter how, if you look at all those cases, in majority of cases, companies don't know that data is hacked for the time, for when it's stolen. It's not, I came and I don't see my wallet in the car and I say, oh my God, my wallet is stolen. If the data is stolen, it's copied. You still have data. You turn the computer, everything looks perfect, and your data is there, but it was hacked. Somebody made a copy and left. And for companies, it takes a while even to figure that out. So attackers are highly complicated, highly advanced. Let's put it this way: they're highly advanced, and we have to be smart. And the best way to be smart is to doubt and to have zero trust approach. So whoever you're talking to over the phone, and you should explain it to your parents and grandparents. If they receive a phone call, the best option not to pick up the phone and make people leave a message. That would be the best way to do it. And to communicate, if they need to call back, if they need to answer any questions, just to put in front of them flyer, zero trust approach. To continue making, we're creating flyers and we're distributing this to senior facilities, just to remind people 10 zero trust approach ideas. Do not share, do not answer, call them back. They might be called, and the spoofing numbers. The caller ID might show you the bank number. Email can come from something at bank.com and it will match, but it's not real. So I would recommend to speak with family members, to put flyers, to continue making them aware. And the most important part to be the second layer of protection or second factor of authentication, to set up accounts in a way that you will be aware of what they do. And until you sign on it, the bank will not proceed. So at least to be alarmed if it might be their financial resources, and at least to be alarmed. My wife is also in cybersecurity. We received every transaction from credit card. We received alarm on a cell phone saying, $25 were deducted from or paid from your credit card for your, company, for your whatever it is. So just pay attention to what is going on, and being second person in line would be the best way from my perspective.
Wonderful. Well, Felix, thank you for joining us. We're out of time today, but this has been fantastic. So, and I want to thank our audience for spending your time with us. And we'll be back on June 18th. And our guest will be Dr. Danielle Lord, who specializes in leadership training and also in dementia care. In the meantime, you can go over to our YouTube channel at USA Global TV and Radio and look for the Dementia Home Care Show playlist, where you'll find all of the past episodes. Thank you to the wonderful Dr. Jacqueline Kerbeck for all of her work behind the scenes today. And thank you to our sponsors for making this possible. See you next time.
The last few days have been really amazing. I had the trainer course from the British School of Etiquette.
And I must say it's been one of the best decisions I've ever made and one of the best investments I've made in my own training and development.
Now, words alone will not describe the transformation and the positive path that I have traveled with the British School of Etiquette.
I find I learned a lot from the lessons this time I came.
The last few days with the British School of Etiquette have been fantastic.
And what I've learned now is really beyond my expectations.
This is the most rewarding experience and the best investment I have made this year.
It was just great. I learned so much, and when I go back to Belgium I will incorporate a lot of it into my day-to-day life and business.
It's been absolutely wonderful for the whole week that we were here.
I feel transformed, and I feel like blowing a trumpet and tell people, come and do this school. This class is the best. This is the best school ever.
You should take it. It will change your life immediately.
I am now able to teach other people how to bring the best of them.
Thank you.
Thank you, BSD.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.